Hey everybody, it's Michael Pedone, and in today's fast-paced world, companies of all sizes, small, mid, and enterprises are constantly seeking ways to boost their sales performance and cut costs, especially now, right? But how are industry leaders like say 3M and CBRE achieving remarkable results doing that? The answer really does lie in an unexpected yet powerful solution, and it's the SalesBuzz online sales training program. By leveraging this cutting edge platform, companies are witnessing significant increases in their monthly revenue per sales rep while dramatically lowering their training expenses. And I'm going to show you how it's done right now. So let's go ahead and take a look real quick. So the first thing I want you to notice when somebody signs up for the program, they get to log in here as there's either a student or a manager log in. We'll start with the student login. When somebody logs in as a student, this is what they're going to see. They're going to log in here. One of the first things I want you to know about the on-demand training program is that depending on which program you get, you're going to have the option to have live coaching at their fingertips once a week on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. is where I'm doing them at this point in time, right? So for that, they just click this little drop down and they can see when the next session is. They can just join it right then and there, okay? With that being said, to start the training, they're going to start with session one, which is called your new opening value statement. See, if your sales team, chances are they're probably not making as many dials. I think the last figure I saw is about 74% said that their sales team's not making enough dials, right? And that really, the real reason they're not making enough dials is because when they did, they were getting, the rejection rate was too high and call reluctance just set in. So there is a way to solve that. And so how do you do that? Well, you have to have a new opening value statement, because what they said after hello, my name was, what they said after hello, my name is, was causing the problem. So in this 10-minute video, it's going to start to fix that right away. So before they pick up the phone, they're going to learn what to do. So the video will start. I have it on mute right now. One of the first things I want you to notice is, yes, it's going to be me speaking. It's me audio, but it's not just a video of me speaking to them. That would be boring, right? So what we did is we spent a lot of money and we put it into an animated videos with the sole purpose of not only can they hear me on what I'm saying, but they're going to be able to visualize the situation that I'm referring to. And when they get to quickly visually see it, one, it's going to keep their engagement and their attention longer. And two, when they can visually see it and then also audibly hear it, it's going to stick longer. And this is one of the many reasons why on-demand training is way outpacing results for in-person training or live training, simply because, one, it's way more effective because they're short micro-learning courses that's going to have a huge impact right away on the skill set that they need to improve on. And they can do it at their fingertips. Plus, they could go back and watch as many times as they want, as opposed to saying to a live class where once they leave class, or if you bring an in-house person in, a live instructor, once they leave with all their information. You basically have me on demand 24/7 for each step of the sales process that they're going to need to master. And I've broken it down into very short, bite-sized bits of information that they can consume right away, put it to practice, and see excellent results like immediately. So what you're going to notice is they're going to watch this, like for the example, in lesson one, there's 3 videos. The first one's 10 minutes long. They're going to watch that video, and then they're going to go ahead and go to the quizzes. Now, notice here it says question 1 of 2. There are all the quizzes that are in our system they're in a data bank, right? So not everybody, when they get to quiz 1, section 1, is going to go and get the same questions. However, they all have to pass the 2 questions that they're going to get. And the reason for that is twofold. One, we want to make sure that they comprehended what they just saw, right, and what they just learned. And then the other reason too is that they can't move on until they get it right. So this is going to be a way for you or your sales managers to actually be able to see, when you log into the reports, you'll be able to see how many times it took them to pass the exam. If you see somebody where it's taken them multiple times, chances are they're just not watching the video, right? But when you see that they actually pass the exams, they're just not fast forwarding ahead, right? So there's like a fail-safe there. So there's multiple reasons. By the way, I'm sure probably a lot of you are reading this little quiz that says, yesterday Nathan tried to call his prospect for the first time. However, his prospect didn't answer and he had to leave him a voicemail. The prospect has not called him back yet. When Nathan calls his prospect today, meaning the next day, what type of call will it be? And your choices are first time, warm, follow-up, or cold call. Now, most people, first of all, what do you think the answer is? Most of you are going to say it's a follow-up call. It's incorrect, because a follow-up call is after you've already spoken with them, and for whatever reason the deal didn't close on the previous call. Now a follow-up call has to happen. When you make a first-time call and you do not get a hold of your prospect, and then you have to try them again, that's a second attempt. Right? So there's a second attempt, there's a third attempt, there's a fourth attempt. We can talk later about how many attempts there are, but it's important for the sales rep to know the difference between a first-time call and a follow-up call. The course will actually get into why it's different and why it's so important, but it's little things like this that are going to set the record straight and implement best practices when it comes to B2B prospecting and cold calling, okay? So they're going to watch the first 10-minute lesson, then they'll take the video, they're going to watch the 10-minute video, then take a little quiz, a little lesson there, and then they'll go on to the next little video that's in there. Now, this one actually picked up where I left off. I was doing a demo on this earlier. I'm kind of happy that happened, so I can point that out. So when you're going through this, anytime that the student has to leave the class for whatever reason, when they come back, it'll pick up right where they left off, right? Okay, so now they're going to get into the second video, which is how to pique your prospect's interest in the first few seconds of a call. This is critical, because if you can't pique your prospect's interest in the first few seconds of a sales call, nothing else matters. And it really doesn't matter if it's a cold outbound call or if you're contacting a warm lead. You need to know what to say in the first few seconds on how to pique their interest and then gain permission to continue the call. And this course is going to show you exactly how to do that first part. Then they're going to take, again, another quiz, right? Their opening value statement needs to be specific to my prospect and agitated pain in order to pique their interest. True or false? Of course it's true. The best way to pique a prospect's interest is to agitate a pain, scratch an itch on a problem they might not even realize that they have. And our program is going to show your reps on how to identify what those problems are within your industry for your vertical to be able to word that correctly, so you can, when you do call somebody and you do say these things in the first few seconds, it makes them sit up straight. It gets rid of the knee-jerk reaction to say no or send me some information or we're all set. And then they're going to be able to go, okay, sure, I got a second, let's talk. It's going to show you how to do that. Now, when they're done with that, again, there's going to be after that quiz, there'll be another short video, 4 minutes, going to show them how to close on their opening value statement. What I mean by that is the very first sale any salesperson makes is when they get a prospect on the phone, they do their opening value statement, and then they close that value statement to get the prospect to commit to, yeah, I'm more than willing to have a conversation. Let's go. Right. So I'm going to show them how to get that first close so they start getting more conversations going. And then there'll be a quiz on that. Now, when they're done with all that, it takes about a half hour, right? When they're done with all that, they have their materials here. First thing I want to show you is this. This is a PDF that they'll be able to print out. This is their cheat sheet. This is their guide. I have one in front of me here. So I work from home. It's on my wall. If you have in-house reps, they can have it in their cubicle. If they're at home, they can have it in a frame, whatever. But this is really, in essence, what they're going to learn. I'm going to teach them how to get to first base, second base, third base, and how to bring it home and close. These are all the steps in the sales process. And when salespeople miss steps, they miss quota. So when they have this visualization there, when they're in a live call, and for some reason, if the prospect throws them a curveball, with the training that they're getting and the live aspects that they're getting, and then they have this material here, if they ever get a curveball, they'll be able to quickly glance at where they left off, handle that question they might have got, but then they'll know where to bring the prospect right back so they can cover their steps that they need to in the right order. And when they learn how to do that, they're going to start putting more money in your pocket and theirs alone. Right, so you have that little guide. Next is going to be an outline guide of basically everything they just learned in the first lesson. They can print this out, refer back to it. It's going to be like their cheat sheet. Next, they're going to have they'll be able to download this as their templates to create their new playbook for their opening value statements. There's going to be 4 templates in here, 4 examples, one for cold calling, referrals, the competition template, which is my favorite, and then the warm lead template. Next, they're going to get an actual example of not just what to say, but how to say it. Because a lot of times people think that it's not what you say in sales, it's how you say it. That's factually incorrect. It's actually what you say and how you say it. Okay. And so this is going to give them an example of that influx and the cadence and things of that nature of their opening value statement, how to say it. One of the next things in the first session, this is really for the sales managers. Listen, iron sharpens iron. The fastest and best way to get more sales is to have your sales team role play, but they have to be role playing the right techniques and they have to be role playing the right way. There's different levels to role playing. This guide breaks it out, and we're going to show you how to get your team role playing the right way. That's all of lesson 1. That'll take about an hour, maybe a little less. What we recommend is the clients that give us the best testimonials and they get the best results are the ones that follow our plan. We have two plans that work the best. The first one is where your sales rep just does 1 hour a week. They log in, they take they spend 1 hour of taking the lessons, and then every day they practice for 10, 15 minutes. They do role playing. But if they just do that once a week, by the time, what's going to happen is this: is they go through lesson one, they're going to be able to get on the phone immediately, start putting into practice what they just learned. They're going to see results right away. So now their confidence is going to grow, their talk time, their number of dials is going to increase, and their confidence is going to grow. And then it'll take about a week. It gets part of their routine, their habit. They have it all settled down. They have it locked in. Next week, and now go on to the next module, which would be gatekeepers and voicemails and emails, right? And it's just rinse and repeat. It's the same process from there. And then another week goes by, and then you go on to the next one, the next one. That's the one I recommend the most, right? Like, just make it over an 8-week period. They'll still be able to go back when they're done and watch anything they want. Anytime they want, they'll have 12 months access with it. But that's, rather than trying to blaze through it all in one day. Sure, if you want to give them a bunch of Red Bull and have them do it all in one day, they could. But you're not going to see the results the way you want doing it that way, because it'll be just too much information for them to try to grasp. With that being said, the other way that a lot of our clients do is they want to get it done in 4 weeks, so they'll do 2 modules a week. That's aggressive, but they still can be done. Again, I'm going to teach them exactly what to do, and then they just have to adapt it to their vertical and their industry, and then they just have to put some role playing and practice in 5, 10, 15, no more than 20 minutes a day, but just 5 to 10 minutes a day of role playing every day is really going to make a huge, just do that and watch where your numbers are this time next year. It's going to have a huge impact. Now, there is a final exam all the way at the end of the program. They'll take that, and then it'll get a certification saying that they passed, right? And that they participated and they passed the exam. They have to get an 80% better to pass. With that being said, earlier I showed you that there's a student login. That's where the students log in. There's also a manager's login. So the manager's login looks like this. So I'll log in as the master here, right? This is my account. So I'll just pick somebody here that's already in. Okay, so this would have your name on it, right? It would set it up with a dashboard for you. You'd have number of available seats, enrollment, students, things of that nature. And then you could always just go to students. You'll see the people that are in there that are active. For reporting, you'll be able to go here and see their progress levels, where each person is at. And then you'll also be able to go ahead and check their grades and their scores. And you'll be able to see, this is really going to help sales managers fine tune for them to help identify and spot where their sales reps need the most amount of help. Because if somebody goes through and say, okay, listen, it took them 4 attempts to pass this exam, why did it take them that many attempts? They need some help. Now your sales manager can go right there and work with that individual, right? Because obviously they're having a hard time grasping something. Other than that, if you see that they have it a couple times where no problem. And by the way, we want some of these to be challenging for them. We're not trying to make them fail or trick them up, but we really want them to master this. And so that's why we have those checks and balances in place. All right. So with that being said, our program right now, if you're interested, it's very simple. You go to enroll now. If you just want the on-demand stuff, you're an individual, you only have a couple sales reps, great. Sign them up for, it's $500 a head. It's on sale right now. You can't beat that. If you have a team and you really like the live coaching aspect and you want them to be able to have, you want the manager to be able to have access to the dashboard and the progress reports, things of that nature, look, $5K, you get up to 10 seats for the year, and it includes the live coaching. If you have more than that, then just request a quote. We'll be more than happy to help you. If you have questions, you could also just, again, go to SalesBuzz, hit enroll now. You can always come down here and schedule a call with me and ask questions if you have any questions. All right. I hope this helps and hope to see you in the class soon.